Hello nerds and nerdettes, welcome back to the channel where once again we have a new video for you guys. This video is going to be my top 10 most anticipated releases for the month of July 2023. I know we are 5 days into July, at least at the point of shooting this video, probably going to be 6 or 7 by the time you guys see this, but I figured why not still put a list together, share it with the community, and then you guys, the community, can share your lists with me. Some of these books have already been released, which, if that is the case, I will definitely share that with you during the list. But before we get into the top 10, a quick reminder that if you're looking to pre-order any of these books, to use the channel sponsor, organicpricebooks.com. Use that discount code STAYNERDY for $2 off your order. Or if you're ordering 3 or more books or pre-ordering 3 or more books, use the new code STAYNERDY, ship it together to get 5% off your order. But enough dilly-dally, which apparently seems to be one of my favorite words as of right now. But let's jump into the list, starting with, of course, number 10. Of course, we have the handy-dandy iPad out, but starting with number 10, we do have Zombicide Day 1. This book has a release date of July 26th, a cover price of $24.99. I could not find a page count anywhere I looked. Probably looking in the wrong places, still kind of new at this, but overall it does seem very lighthearted. It seems like a lot of zombie, silly, fast-paced action, and I've said before on the channel, probably multiple times at this point, my guilty pleasure happens to be anything zombie related, anything post-apocalyptic related. For whatever reason, that vibes with me. I have fun with it. I enjoy it. That may be foreshadowing another book in my list, but still super excited for this one. This is not something that I've read, so that makes me a little bit more excited as well, because it's kind of rare I come across books that I haven't really read. But this also just seems kind of like a smaller publisher book in general. So I like to give those books some love, some attention as well, especially if they involve zombies. But that does wrap up number 10. I don't have a whole lot to say about it, obviously, because I haven't read it, but it is definitely something that's on my radar, so we can go ahead and jump to number 9. And number 9 is going to be 8 Billion Genies, the Deluxe Edition, Volume 1. We have a scheduled release date of July 19th, a cover price of $39.99, and a 246 page count. Definitely one that was on a lot of people's radar when it was coming out in single issues. The concept, without giving too much away, pretty much involves everyone on Earth receiving a genie and all of the abilities that would come with having a genie, and how exactly the world would function and what exactly would happen moving forward in society, if you will. Obviously, there's a lot more to the story than that, but it is a very, very interesting concept. I feel like that's why this book, when it was coming out in singles, had a lot of people's attention, just because there's not one like it, or there's not a concept like it really in comics, or really any media in general. It's a very interesting concept that the creators played with, and I feel like I said, that's the main thing that very much got people's attention, mine included. We do have a volume 1 and it being a deluxe for $39.99. Not too bad, bang for your buck right there. Definitely, these are some books you really, really want to watch out for. These massive, just beautiful books in deluxe edition, especially when they're not being slapped with a $100 price tag. But that does wrap up number 9, which is 8 Billion Genies, the Deluxe Volume 1, so we'll go ahead and jump to number 8. And number 8 is going to be complete, or the complete Irredeemable. It was scheduled to come out July 5th, so it is currently out for those of you that have been waiting on it or did want it. It does have a cover price of $59.99 and a page count of 976 pages. This does collect all of Irredeemable from what I know of, at least, but not Incorruptible. We will be getting or that one's released as well, Incorruptible. I personally enjoyed Irredeemable a lot more than Incorruptible. Pretty much follows a story written by Mark Waid, the Plutonian, who is a Superman equivalent character that kind of follows the trope of becoming evil what do you do with a god gone mad type of storyline. I am very disappointed that this is not hardcover from what I'm seeing, at least so far. I would have very much enjoyed either them continuing those deluxe editions or just putting it in a hardcover compendium, kind of like the Invincible books, but it is what it is. I am going to be looking out for it because I don't have that in my collection. I've read it in singles, but I haven't recollected it or upgraded into my collection. So definitely a great story though. It's in a lot of people's top fives, top tens, and it's definitely worth the read. But that does wrap up number 8, so we'll jump to number 7. Number 7 is going to be Human Target Volume 2, the standard edition hardcovers that have been coming out for that series. We do have a release date of July 19th, a cover price of $29.99, and a page count of 232 pages. This is all written by Tom King. It follows Christopher Chance, the character that we met in Volume 1, or singles, however you were reading it at the time. Pretty much a man that disguises himself as would-be victims for assassins, hitman, anything like that. Whatever hired killer, place hired killer's title here. But it is a very interesting story. It has a lot of crime noir notes as well as almost like soap opera style notes as well. Very, very good story. Had a lot of buzz around it when it was coming out in single issues. Was nominated for multiple Eisner Award categories. So definitely a really good read. I want to say this finishes up Human Target, but don't quote me on that because I don't exactly remember off the top of my head how many issues this entire series kind of spanned. But still, such a great read. Tom King can sometimes be hit or miss for me, but his Human Target title just knocked it out the park. I already got Volume 1, if you guys saw in my last haul, so this will be finishing up my Human Target collection, if you will. It is a Black Label book as well, for those of you that care about continuity. It is out of continuity. But let's go ahead and jump into, or finish up with number 7 and jump into number 6. Number 6 is going to be Batman vs. Robin, which is also going to be a standard edition hardcover, I believe. We have a release date of July 5th, which means it is currently out at this point. We also have a page count of 248 pages and a cover price of $29.99. This is also by Mark Waid, second time appearing on my list. I've probably said multiple times now that he's in my top 5 favorite writers, so usually anything he's writing, it's on my radar in some aspect, some way. This does have some tie-ins to World's Finest, which was also written by Mark Waid, as well as Lazarus Planet. So if you want to get that entire story or all the breadcrumbs of that little mini event, then this is something you're going to want to pick up. Mark Waid kills it as always. I mean, he just knows how to write superheroes in general. This does roll over from the Robin series that was, I believe, canceled or at least going on at the time. So you have a lot of tie-ins from other series, other titles, and also some that ties into even more titles or events. So definitely something to look out for, especially if you're trying to keep up with current DC events and current DC series in general. This is something to kind of pick up and get into the collection so you can really follow those breadcrumbs. What few breadcrumbs they are leaving for us in the mess that is, or the mess that was DC during this time. But definitely a great read. Very much enjoyed my reading experience on anything Mark Waid wrote during the recent years of DC. But definitely watch out for it. It's a blast. But that does finish up that book, so we will go ahead and jump to number 5, which will be our first book in the top 5 of my list. And coming in at number 5 is Righteous Thirst for Vengeance Deluxe Edition. That's a mouthful. This is scheduled to release July 19th, has a page count of 336 pages, and also has a cover price of $39.99. This is a Remender book for those of you that love Rick Remender, or at least love the style that his books are released in, which is that large, oversized library edition. This is going to be that exact same trim or style of book. This is actually one of his newer series. I think this is his most recent series, I believe, but it is very art forward, very light on the dialogue, a light and kind of gloomy read in general. It does follow a character who is protecting a young boy from assassins, being very vague here, obviously. So you do have a lot of that dynamic duo or protector and protectee style of storytelling that you see from stories like Last of Us or Logan. So it does have a lot of those notes that we do enjoy in a lot of media, a lot of stories that have already been told, but in a Rick Remender way. I do remember this being very gloomy as far as its ending, but I've read a lot in the past couple years, so it's not sticking as much as the more recent stuff, but still, it's Rick Remender. It's going to be in those massive, beautiful library editions. That's always going to be a pickup for me. I love Rick Remender, and I definitely love the way his books are collected. But that does wrap up number 5. It's definitely a book you're going to watch out or want to watch out for, especially how rare Remender titles get reprinted. But we can go ahead and head to number 4. Number 4 is going to be Nemesis Reloaded. This is scheduled to come out July 12th. Has a page count of 144 pages and a price tag of $16.99. This is a trade paperback. A lot of you know I don't really collect trade paperbacks, but I love Mark Miller and I very much love Jorge Jimenez, so I'm going to pick it up. This is a sequel to Nemesis, which was the original series. This is a twist on Batman in a way, if he was evil, if he was a villain rather than a hero. And they have a lot of fun with it. You do have Jorge Jimenez, who is a lot of people's favorite Batman artist right now, doing a Batman-like character. A lot of action, a lot of blood and gore. Mark Miller hits the nail on the head once again with his character and his kind of Mark Miller world that he is building. Such a blast. Jorge Jimenez, for my new readers that know absolutely nothing about him, he is an artist you definitely want to keep your eye on. He is not only a super amazing guy, just super awesome, follow him on Instagram, but also his art is breathtaking. So keep an eye on not only this book, but really anything that has his name on it. But such a fun book. It's not something you're going to want to take super seriously. It is fairly dark and fairly gore-filled. There is a lot of blood, action, everything you'd come to expect from a Nemesis title. For those of you that have read Nemesis, I do have a short kind of going over the book on my channel, so if you guys do want to check that out, then feel free to do so. But Mark Miller, Jorge Jimenez, put that on any title, it's probably going to be in my top 5. But that does wrap up number 4, so let's jump to number 3. Which number 3 is going to be Captain America by Ta-Nehisi Coates, the Omnibus. This has a release date of July 26, a page count of 696 pages, and a cover price of $100. A lot of you guys probably know at this point, I am a huge Captain America fan. Captain America, Superman, Guts from Berserk are probably my 3 favorite characters that I religiously follow, and here we are getting an omnibus on one of the more recent runs on the character of Captain America. Not my all-time favorite run on Captain America, may not even be in my top 3. There's a slight deconstruction in a way to the character of Captain America, which has been done better in other runs. Mark Waid's run, for example, or Grimwald's run. So really just kind of similar notes, but more recent, a lot more modernized, if you will. Still beautiful art, beautiful storytelling. He's most known for his run on Black Panther and kind of the world that he built in not only Black Panther's title, but also just Wakanda in general. And he does then tackle Captain America. You do get beautiful covers by Alex Ross, which I believe both covers for this omnibus are done by Alex Ross, so that's something worth checking out already right there. It is going to be on the slimmer side, not even in the 700 page range, but it's going to be $100 instead of 125. So it's worth picking up if you're a Captain America fan. I'm 9 times out of 10 going to pick up anything Captain America related. So, of course, this is in my top 3, but that does wrap up number 3, so we can go ahead and jump to number 2. Coming in at number 2 is probably what some of you predicted, Marvel Zombies Omnibus. This does have a release date of July 5th, which means it is already out. It does have a page count of 1,200 pages and a cover price of $125. I have been told by JP at Organic Price Books that the standard edition cover, which is the play on the Secret Wars cover, is officially out of print, so get that as quickly as possible wherever you can if you plan on picking it up. Obviously, no rush. You can probably find it on the aftermarket, but obviously that's slim pickings, so just be careful with that. Obviously, this book does follow the Marvel Universe, zombified, if you will. It's not the 616 universe, so don't worry about that. But as I kind of said with the number 10 pick, I am a sucker for zombies in general, but I am also a sucker for superheroes, and this has both of them in one book. This is definitely something I was collecting religiously and reading when I was collecting single issues. My first initial dip into it was the Army of Darkness Marvel Zombies title, which I'm super bummed that it wasn't collected in this omnibus. This is going to be getting a companion, which I think is going to be called the Marvel Omnibus Resurrected or something along those lines. So we are going to be getting more Marvel Zombie content other than this omnibus. So definitely something to keep your eye out if you enjoy zombies, and definitely keep your eye out on picking up that DM variant cover since the standard is out of print as of right now. But that does wrap up number 2, so we'll go ahead and jump to number 1. And number 1 is going to be the long-awaited, a lot of you probably saw this coming, knowing that this was coming out this month, Superior Spider-Man Omnibus Volume 1. Probably my second favorite era of Spider-Man. Maybe not my second favorite run in general, but my second favorite era for sure. We do have a release date of July 12th. We have a page count of 960 pages. And we do have a cover price of $125. This is during the Dan Slott era on Spider-Man. I feel like they may possibly be double dipping with this omnibus at some point if we do get Dan Slott omnibuses. So I am a little worried about that, but still the Dan Slott omnibuses would be 4 or 5 volumes deep probably. So maybe this would be the smart way to go. Not too sure, but this came out, was hated beyond belief, and now is arguably a cult classic, fan favorite, mine included. This does follow, slight spoilers, a change in who is Spider-Man, but not physically, but maybe in another way. If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. Hopefully, if you haven't read it, you don't know what I'm talking about. It is worth the read. It is worth picking up. A lot of us in the collected edition community have been waiting for this omnibus for a very long time, and we are more than happy that it's finally coming out, and it's a volume 1. So definitely be on the lookout for that, but that does wrap up my list. So thank you once again for watching. As always, I truly, truly appreciate it. Comment down below. Let me know your list. Let me know what you're most excited for during this month. Hopefully you guys picked up some of the stuff that did come out earlier in this month, like the July 5th area. But still, let me know down below what you guys are excited for. And I apologize, this video is a little late. Internet issues is definitely something I can't exactly predict, but we did our best. We handled it with grace, if you will. But other than that, if you are not a part of the Illuminati, hit that subscribe button to join the community. Also, if you do me a favor and hit that thumbs up icon, and if you enjoyed today's video, do yourself a favor and hit that bell icon. But other than that, thank you so much for watching, and of course, as always, stay nerdy.